Today, what I want to experiment with or wanted to share a few ideas that I had. And the first one is while building Anteambulo, I give regular updates regarding what are some of the things, the challenges that are coming my way while building Anteambulo, what are some of the processes that I'm following, and what are some of the experiments that I'm trying out. And one unique experiment that I figured actually changed the way I do video editing, the entire process of making videos, thinking about videos, and that tool is ChatGPT. You might have heard about ChatGPT. A lot of media has been covering ChatGPT. But today what I want to discuss is the role of ChatGPT in structuring interviews, the role of using ChatGPT to come up with something useful. ChatGPT is not an expert in various things that it talks about. The data set is not an expert data set, it's just a generalized data set. So we cannot expect expertise from it, but what we can expect is enabling you to reach 95 percentile of a field within no time. And today that is exactly what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT and how do we even understand how this tool can be used, how can it be incorporated into our workflows. So let's jump right in. Now ChatGPT, it's a tool. It's been trained on a very huge data set. It's an AI model trained on a very huge data set, but what it's trained to do is it's trained to have conversations. So in conversations, the key thing is memory. That is, if I had said something 5 minutes ago, the ability to use that and then answer accordingly is something that ChatGPT has been trained for. You can actually see our goal is to make AI systems more natural and safe to interact with. So that's what ChatGPT is about. Let's get started. So let's type in, I want to starting a new YouTube channel called Anteambulo. What do you think should be the strategy that I should follow? Just letting ChatGPT know that I'm starting a new YouTube channel. We'll take it on from here. Define your target audience, fine. Establish your brand identity, determine the overall theme and the tone of your channel, and create a consistent visual brand. So we've been working on this, like the logo, there's a channel art, there's channel trailer. So there is work being done in this field. Plan your content. Now this is something that I wasn't aware of. Promote your channel. Yes, we are doing that. Engage with your audience. Again, falling back on it. Collaborate with other creators. Yes, definitely. Stay up to date. Keep an eye on the latest trend. Yes, these are very generic but yet effective suggestions that ChatGPT is giving us. Can you suggest type of content to cover people's journeys? So now this is where it gets interesting. We are suggesting that there are two different conversations taking place. The first conversation was that you're creating a new channel. The second conversation is, can you suggest a type of content to cover people's journeys? So look at this. So there are different types of videos: travel blogs, personal growth videos, documentary style videos, life update videos, Q&A videos. If you want to share more about yourself and your journey, you could create. It's important to be authentic and genuine in your storytelling. Some effective ways of storytelling. Start with a hook. Use an attention-grabbing introduction to draw your audience. Create a clear structure. Use a clear and logical structure. Now, this is where it gets interesting. As we've spoken about, and as you might have seen in the trailer, at Anteambulo, we are focusing on a very structured conversation, and that has been the case with the conversations that we have done so far. Which is, first we understand the line of work that a person is working in or a product is based on, and then we understand the journey, that is, where did it start, what were some of the key moments in the product development life cycle, and then we try to understand different things. Can be what keeps you going on, how do you keep yourself in check, so some accountability mechanisms, some motivations that you're looking forward to. How is it that you keep going on? So these are some of the things that we want to understand, and that is what Anteambulo is about. And it's about logic. And then use dialogue and narration to add depth and personality to your story. That's really clear. using visuals. This is something that we're not making use of right now. Show, don't tell. Instead of just telling your audience what happened, show them by using vivid descriptions and sensory details. This is something that we can always work on. Use emotion. I'll tell you one thing. There were many conversations, but the conversation that was very recently released with a biologist, the feedback that we got was we could relate to the biologist. And over there, the conversation was structured in such a way that it wasn't about what field of study biology covers, but how can biology impact humans? What is the bigger, larger than life mission that one is trying to solve through biology? That was what really connected to people. And people okay listening to technical jargon provided it's fitting in a context. And what I'm trying to suggest here is the information that's coming from ChatGPT is to some extent practical. It has worked for me. So that's the feedback that I'm getting. It's worked. End with the takeaway. Summarize the key points of your story and leave your audience with something to think about or take away. So this is great. Now let's dive deep into the structure that I was telling you about, that is the system, the journey, and the motivations or accountability mechanisms. So let's type a detailed description of what Anteambulo is. I want to interview people and talk to them about their careers, any products that they might have built or are in the process of building, ideas, and their lives in general. The underlying structure we want to stick on to while having these conversations is classified into 3 categories: the system or area of work, their journey, and the motivations or accountability mechanisms. Just accountability mechanisms. Now let's make things even interesting. I am going to interview biologists. Can you suggest questions that align to the above template? This is where it gets super interesting. First of all, it's understanding that the system or area of work is one, their journey. How did you get started in your career as a biologist? What were some of the key milestones or turning point? What has been the most rewarding or challenging aspect of your journey? The motivations or accountability. What motivates you to continue working in this field? What are some of the values or goals that drive your work as a biologist? How do you stay accountable to your goals and the goals of your team or organization? Do you want to, let's try something, let's ask some more. Can you generate some more questions aligning to the above template? Some more questions. How does your work contribute to our understanding of the biological world? What are some of the latest findings or developments in your field? What inspired you to a career in biology? What are some of the key lessons that you've learned along the way? What are some of the most memorable or influential experiences you've had in your career so far? Motivations. What inspires you to continue working in this field even when it gets challenging or frustrating? What are some of the personal or professional goals that you hope to achieve in your career? How do you stay motivated and accountable to your own goals? Now, this is where things are really getting exciting. ChatGPT has understood what the structure is and it's providing you questions. And also, what it suggested early on is keep your questions open-ended. So it's understanding that, okay, there are different types of questions and certain questions are open-ended, certain questions are not. And that is the key here. It's only giving you questions that are open-ended. It's not giving you questions like, are you a biologist? That can also be a question, but it's refraining from, I haven't seen a question which ends in a yes or no. So that's something that one needs to think about. How is it doing? But let's continue. Now, once we have got the content, right? What are some of the questions that you can ask a biologist? Let's go ahead and ask it the video structure. How do you want to structure the video? Can you suggest variety of ways to structure the video, the biologist? Now it's going to put out some video structures that we can use. Chronological, you could structure the video chronologically, following the scientist's career from the beginning to the present. This could be a good way to give context. And then comes thematic, you could structure around specific themes. Case study, you could structure the video around a specific case study. You can do a Q&A, you could mix and match. You can also using a combination. This information, I personally would never have got this information until I was talking to someone who's been in this field, or these are insights that you have to work on. You have to spend some time digging information, understanding that, okay, these are the right questions to ask. And over here, you just randomly having a conversation and getting different insights. This is the beauty of it. One last thing that I want to show you is how do I make the videos more immersive? Can you suggest some multimedia elements that can be used in video? It's suggesting images, video footages, audio. You can use audio such as music, sound effects, and voiceovers to add depth and emotion, animations, infographics or motion graphics, interactive elements. You've got a nice broad level understanding of what video editing, what video production is. Let's end this video by just asking it a video structure. Can you suggest a video structure with the biologist? I think there's a typo there, video structure with the biologist, but it's still understood that you could use with the bio. Introduction, early career, focus on the scientist's early career, key milestones, discuss some of the key milestones, current work, what the scientist is working on currently, and future goals. In the final section, discuss the scientist's future goals and aspirations. Conclusion, end the video with the conclusion that summarizes the key points. What we've understood today is, I personally just learned this right now, that there are so many different types of video structuring. That is, you can structure it chronologically, you can structure it thematically, you can also have case studies. We have currently, the approach we are taking towards Anteambulo is a Q&A format, but definitely thematic chronological case study is a very good alternative as well. And these questions is what is really helping me out with coming up with videos. What I'm understanding is there's a certain depth that I'm able to catch on to, because I personally am working in the software industry, where I'm not on a daily basis dealing with terminologies that a biologist or a cardiologist or someone from a very department is working on. So what ChatGPT is enabling me to do is, it's enabling me to go one level deeper and ask them the relevant questions. Now, when I'm asking them relevant questions on a 95 percentile level, the insights I'm getting is from their level of expertise, which is further, I'm able to push the boundaries and get beautiful pieces of crisp information, and that ChatGPT has made a whole lot of difference. So this is let's end the video here. I suggest you all take a look at ChatGPT. It's free of cost for now. You can ask questions, try to come up with your own ways of understanding things. Do let us know what experiments you are carrying out, and until then, see you. Bye.